Alright, hey guys, and welcome to day 6. Today we're going to be doing LeetCode problem 19, which is remove nth node from the end of the list. So we've been learning list nodes for a minute. And so we're going to try this problem. Basically, you're given a list node, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have to remove the second to last. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. Or if there's one digit, you move the 1, or if there's 2 digits and equals 1, you move the last one. Oh, let me do that. So basically, I think we'll just get right into it. I think what we're going to do first is, since we're moving from the end, we're going to count how many there are. So we're going to count equals 0, and ITR equals head, while ITR count plus equals 1, ITR equals ITR dot next. And we're just going to return count and run it just because I want to see if I get the same amount or if I get one more. 5 is not a valid value, so I got 5 and it was 5. Okay, so that's good. That's what I wanted. So now if I'm removing the 4th, so then I have to do, okay, count is that, and I'm going to say index equals count plus 1 minus n, right? Minus n, okay, and that's going to give me the index that I want. So then if I reset count equals 0, and then I go ITR equals head again, so I reset it, and then I'm going and I'm gonna say while ITR, if index equals count, no, equals count minus 1. No, so we'll remove this plus 1 right here, because we want it to be 2 lower. We want it to be the index before the one we're removing. Okay, while ITR, if index equals count, ITR dot next equals ITR dot next, and then we're gonna go count plus or plus equals 1, and ITR equals ITR dot next. So what this should do is I get the index, then I'm doing it more. I don't know if this is gonna work for all the special cases, like for these especially. I don't know if it'll work for 2. I think it'll work for 3, but I just want to see if it works for 1. Okay, so cool. No. So it broke on this one, yeah. Next has no attribute. Because there's no dot next here, while ITR. Ooh. Should be only 1. Huh. So let's look at the cases, right? So if I want to remove the last one, right? I'm going to remove at. If I remove at the end, I just do val equals next on next. While val, if count equals index minus 1, val equals next dot next dot next. And this works for the code. So I'm pretty confused why it's not working here, but it's breaking on here. Let's just make this 1, 2. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just because I want to see what happens with those. Okay, well, we're gonna try setting them all to the same thing. I just want to see if it works for the first one then. Okay, cool. So it's just non type has no attribute next. Like, I don't know what it's talking about. Index equals count. Count is gonna be, count is 3. So you make it 1, then make it 2, then make it 3. I see what you mean. So this should work for that one test case. Output is just, oh, I didn't return anything. Okay, so that one worked, yeah. But now if I try 1, 2, I don't know if it will work. 1, 2 did work. And then we try just 1. I don't think 1 is gonna work, to be honest. It didn't work. I returned 1 and I expected to return that. So we'll just do an if statement up here, right? And we'll say if over here, if count equals 1 and index equals 0, so that's saying that if index equals 0, no, index could equal 0 because if the count's 2 and the number's 2, then it won't work. But if count's equal to 1 and index is equal to 0, we'll just return none. So that should work for this case as well. Okay, but now there's one more case I want to try. I want to do, if I do this and I do 2, or I do this and I do 5, I feel like it will break. Yeah, wrong answer. Expected was to remove that one, but it didn't remove that one. So if counts go to 5 and n is, so for example, right, for this one right here, for this test case, counts can be equal to 5 and n's can be equal to 5. So if counts equal to 0, right, index starts at 0 and it plus equals at the start, right? So that's pretty convoluting. Unless I plus 1 here, but then it's like, I don't know if the rest are gonna work. So let's think about it. We wanna, why did I put the count up here? Because or else it was gonna break. Because I would get to 3 and then next, no, I would be at 2. No. My count would be 0. Oh, it would only trigger, it would switch it to 3. No, it would check if it's add 4 and then switch it to, ooh, wait a minute. Yeah. It would like be at 2, check for this one. Wait, what am I saying? Okay, I think we just switch the count variable and we'll be fine. And I can put count underneath. So, okay. Let's make it the way it works right now. Right now, count set at 0 right here, and we get how many, and up here we get how many variables we have, right? We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count is going to start at 1 here. Okay. And if count's at 1, then we start at 1 and we go boom. So we'll try 5 here, 2 here, or we'll try 5 here, 1 here, or we'll try 2, 3, and this should satisfy everything. We'll see what happens. Right, so the second one got a wrong answer. I didn't delete this one. So the other ones work, but the middle one, where the numbers at the start didn't work. So let's look at that, right? If my number's at the start, and let's do like another pointer. If my number's at the start, so if my number's at the start, so index equals count minus n. So we'll say, okay, that should still be 0, right? Because if I have 2 and 2, then index is 0. And if index is equal to 0, count starts at 1, it'll never hit. But if I plus 1 to this, let's say index is equal to that, then it will never. So I think I just need a special case for when index is equal to 0. So yeah, I'll create a special case for if index equals 0. Alright, special case. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say, okay, we'll go here and we'll say LL equals list node 0 and head, and we'll say return ll.next. No. Oh, wait a minute. Did I cook up? Oh, wait a minute. I might not need to do this. If I delete this, if I reset head here, and if I do if index equals 0, return head.next, or I could just return itr.next, right? This will make it, because the point is at the start, and then else you do that. So this should work. Okay. Let's try to submit it. We'll probably get like a couple test cases wrong. Oh, it actually did get accepted. Okay, bad. So yeah, that's number 19, remove nth node from the end of the list. Basically what we did is we just so counted up here how many indexes there were, and here we just did the calculations. We just did the calculation to see if what index it was, and then we have the little 2 special cases right here, which if count 1 and index is 0. So if there's only one thing in the list, it's just gonna remove the list and return none. And if it's just index equals 0, I guess we can move this. Just make it nicer. Go here, boom. We have to put this one above it though, but yeah. So yeah, then we have our little 2 exceptions here. So if there's only one thing in the list, it's just gonna return an empty list, which is none. And or if the index is equal to 0, it's just gonna return the next thing. Which, speaking of which, let's just try. I'm not saying it'll work, but let's just try and see what happens if I do itr.next and there's only one item. It actually did work as well. Okay, so spending an extra minute, we optimize the solution and beat a little bit more users. So we got the count here, and then if the index is equal to 0, so if it's the first one, so if it's the first letter that we're supposed to remove, we just return itr.next, which is every other letter afterwards. If it's none, it's none. And other than that, we just count through and we just next.next and return at the end.